Hi, and welcome again to Your Cooking Coach with your coach, Nicole Elevitz. Well, today we're going to talk about pasta. We all love it. We all eat it. In fact, I've eaten a little too much of it in my time. And so what I've done is I've broken up the theory of 5 secrets to pasta. That's 5. And I'm going to bring each of them to you here today so we can talk about it. And the very first and most important one for you to remember is don't be scared of pasta. Portions. That's the first secret for the day. Portion control. And our Weight Watchers understands this beautifully. Every portion of pasta is about 4 to 5 points plus, and that's even on the new program. Now, there's different kinds of pastas you can enjoy. You can enjoy white pasta, whole wheat pasta, there's rice pasta, there's tons of different kinds. 5 points plus, so be careful. Now, I weigh all my pasta, and the reason I do that is so that I know exactly how much I'm eating. Now, this is a whole wheat pasta, and I have actually measured it by weighing it on my scale, and that's it. It's in this little dish. Now, here's the thing. The cinch for me, staying on track, is to boil my own portion in my own pot. And that means that I know exactly how much is mine, exactly how much is my daughter's, exactly how much is Mitch's, and I'm not worried about snacking on their pasta because it was in my pot. And what's in my pot, that's what I eat. Nobody else's. You might be wondering what number 2 is. Well, I'll tell you, it's all about variety. I'm a lady who loves a good flavor. I love to laugh. I love to sing. I love to dance. And of course, that's 3 kinds of variety show right there. So I try to bring that kind of variety into the food that I eat. So one thing I want to tell you is, as I mentioned, this was my portion of whole wheat pasta. Remember, it has a lovely nutty flavor to it. In addition to that, there's other kinds of pasta. You want to switch it up. Remember, this is a spice of life. So another kind of pasta that I like is a buckwheat soba noodle. Now, I cook a lot of Asian food. This is a soba noodle that I got at the grocery store. I think I bought this at the Asian grocery store. It's an organic soba, and it's called a buckwheat noodle. You can eat these cold. You can eat them hot. But again, the beauty of these are 5 points for a serving, but you're trying something different. And flavor is usually what satisfies us. It's not always volume. Sometimes it's variety. It's the other V word. In addition to soba noodles, you can always try and go something completely in left field, which is polenta. Have you ever tried polenta? Now, polenta is a whole grain corn. This is basically a corn grit. This is from Bob's Red Mill. Create this great grain. I've tried different kinds of polenta, and I can tell you, Bob's is the best. It's about a 1/4 cup is 3 points plus. So even if you double the serving size, it's 6 points. Now, if you double a pasta serving size, it's 10 points plus. So by having only 6 points plus in 2 servings, you're way ahead of the game. Am I right or am I wrong? Cook it with broth rather than, or fat-free milk, rather than with whole milk, rather than with cream, rather than with butter. You do not need that added fat in order to have this polenta grab the moisture and become a delicious dish that has a nice way of kind of picking up sauces. There's other ways you can go with grain, right? Another one is the superfood, as my husband likes to call it, and that's quinoa or quinoa. Or if you're Mitch shopping at New Seasons, he goes, quinoa! But we're not going to say that today, so pretend you didn't hear me. But basically, that's this tiny little grain that is actually a protein and a starch. It's a superfood. And you're going to love this. Cooks up really, really fast, kind of the way couscous does. And that can also be used as a pasta instead of going for your typical spaghetti-like pasta that we're all familiar with. And now I'm going to blow all of your minds. You're like, why couldn't pasta just not have any points? If it had no points plus, I would feel safe. I would eat it more. I would be happy. Well, guess what? They made something kind of funky. Tofu shirataki noodles, and they actually have no points. I've run it through the system. I love to make stir fries with these because sometimes we get tired of having just rice. So there's tons of different options for you. And remember, variety is the spice of your dieting program. You know, you're going to be much more successful if you're not trying to eat the same thing every single day. Take it from me. You need to switch it up a bit. Okay, rule number 3. If you can't handle having pasta as the main part of the dish, but you still need some, you're craving a little bit of that chewy, nutty goodness of pasta, use it as a garnish. So I have a couple ideas for you. One of them is orzo. So you make sure you weigh your orzo. But if you use 2 ounces of orzo in an entire recipe for, let's say, a family of 4, then you're only each getting a quarter of a serving. But you still have a little bit of that chewy texture. And you can use orzo, or you could use something called acini de pepe. These are little tiny noodles, and you could add them maybe right at the end of a recipe that has a lot of sauce. Throw in 2 ounces of pasta. Let the pasta soak up the sauce, but you're not eating that much pasta. Now make sure you serve it over a beautiful bed of steamed spinach or broccoli or some cooked carrots, and you're gonna love it. It's gonna taste delicious. You'll get a little bit of pasta, but you won't get a whole dish full of pasta, and it cuts down on the points plus. And secret number 4 for taking pasta out of your diet but leaving it in, how confusing could that be, is to replace it with a vegetable. A vegetable that reminds you of pasta. A vegetable that takes on the appearance of pasta, but isn't actually pasta itself. The first one I'm going to share with you is a spaghetti squash. So long! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not the Heisman Trophy. But I am your cooking coach. And I'm telling you right now, your best way to go is to take a spaghetti squash, slice it down the center, seed it, and then place it skin side down about 350 degrees in the oven for about 45 minutes. You're going to pick it up at the end and then scrape your fork across it sideways, and you're going to have pieces of spaghetti. Spaghetti that you can put Parmesan and butter on, or it may apparently it's not butter, which is a product out on the market. But anyway, the bottom line is spaghetti squash can help you have the appearance of spaghetti without actually having spaghetti on the plate. Now here is the secret of the century, which is a spiral slicer. Have you guys ever seen one of these? It's so cool. Basically, you take a zucchini as straight as you can find. So here's a good straight zucchini. You suction cup it down to your counter. You've placed it into a holder, and basically you help it along as it goes through. Now I hope you guys can see what's coming out on this side, but basically we've got pasta. That's right, we've got zucchini pasta. And here we have the most beautiful threads of zucchini you've ever seen. You cut it into the length you're used to, so let's say it's something like that. You can cook it with bucatini, you can cook it alone. You can mix a garlic and herb sauce for it. You could use a lemon, you could go ginger, you could go Asian, you could go Indian with this. You can do a lot of things, but the beauty of it is it's taking on the appearance of what you're used to, which of course is pasta. Is spaghetti. It's very comforting. We all love it, but this is a great way, again, adding variety to your diet to bring in a vegetable where the pasta used to live. It's a great way to go. And then there's secret number 5. Now, I'm going to whisper this one, but really loudly. When all else fails and you're out to dinner and you want pasta, would you eat it, please? Because you're going to be miserable otherwise. You're going to go to a restaurant that's for pasta, and you're going to try something else, and you're going to be angry. And I can tell you right now, Mitch perpetually tells me, play to the strength of the restaurant. So if you're going to an Italian restaurant, have pasta. Don't be afraid. Tell them, hey, you know what? I'm on Weight Watchers. Can they cook it with a little less oil? Can they cook it with a little less butter? And then, if you don't even want to do that, if you just want to have a nice night out like everybody else for Pete's sake, and I don't even know who Pete is, then go for it. And use your extra points. You do get a bank of points. You should use them where you can, and you should make yourself happy. Because the truth is, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. I've been thinking about this marathon my whole life, and I'm trying to keep myself on track. And this is your cooking coach, Nicole Elovitz, bringing you 5 ways to enjoy pasta without all the heartache and the headache. Thanks. Good eats to all. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.